Welcome. Episode number 10.
Yeah.
Number 10. I'm your host, Aaron Williams.
J Lot Soul was
This
good.
is 2 beats, 1 drums on the August 8th, 2023. We got a good show for you guys. If you're a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. Hit those like buttons, subscribe, support the stream, support the show. Got pushing out a lot of good content for you guys, and thank you for supporting us. Let's get this show on the road, man. I'm ready to get into it, man.
Let's get into it.
First up, Anthony Davis.
Yes, sir.
Anthony Davis got paid, man.
Them Lakers, bro.
What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's well deserved. Of course, the big question is he going to be healthy? Is he going to be available? Nice contract. What, 180?
186, man. It'll be total 270 when he's done.
Facts.
By the time all the chips are on the table.
Man, give me 60 games, man. Give me
60 games a year?
Give me 60.
That's all we're asking?
Man, that's a lot for, 60 games. Be ready for the playoffs, when we need you. So
this is my question, man.
That's what I'm expecting out of.
This is my question, man.
What's your question?
Is he worth $62 million a year? Is he worth it?
Yes.
He's worth it.
Easy answer, yes.
And you know what? I'm inclined to agree with you.
Okay.
I'm not going to be a Laker hater. I'm not a Laker hater. I tend to agree with you. I asked this question to you. I threw this question out to you a couple shows ago. I said, what happens when LeBron James decides it's done? Who are they going to go to? And this answers that question. This answers that question. They kind of had no choice because they know LeBron James is about on his way out the door. You need a superstar to take the mantle. They've been waiting for Anthony Davis to kind of take over, take the reins and stuff. And he's going to have no choice when LeBron's gone. And this, kind of solidifies, the passing of the torch of the next Laker great.
Yeah.
I think we can, to a lesser extent, we can call him a Laker great, I guess, because he did win the ring in the bubble.
Yeah.
We put the asterisk next to that for me. But he did get the ring.
I think it's more than that. Like I said, if you play 60 games, being Anthony Davis himself, and the way he played last year, if he'd have played the whole season, possibly healthy, I see him winning a defensive player of the year type of season. So if he can stay healthy, continue that defensive ferocity, because he is a beast on the defensive end, and still a threat offensively, then I think it's well worth the money. I can see him leading the team without LeBron moving into the future. So I think it was a good move for the Lakers. Let's keep building. And
you think they compete for another championship during his tenure?
I think they're ready to compete next
year for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
If not by trade deadline, that team hasn't gelled, then you have pieces you could move to get another solid player in there. The Lakers been the last few years done a great job trading and obtaining assets and drafting. So I think they're on the right track. Like you said, for a life without LeBron in the future.
Yeah, Rob Pelinka has done a masterful job coming from the debacle and bringing in Russell Westbrook and all the other players that they had, Carmelo Anthony, Russ, some of the other players that just didn't fit well with the standard that is winning championships, competing for championships. And he's done a masterful job. Like you have to give him all the credit for how this team turned out because it was looking really bad. They were the laughing. They were essentially kind of the laughing stock of the league.
Because it was crazy seeing them trade their first round.
All those
top 10 picks,
Ingram, Ball,
Russell, just to get them back.
Hart, yeah.
It was crazy, but they're putting it together. So I see them competing for another title next year. Made a deep run last year, so I don't see. I feel that team has gotten better.
Yeah, I don't see any reason why you can't pencil them in for a Western Conference Final appearance.
Facts
with the squad that they've assembled, without question. So we'll see. I think the proof is in the pudding with Anthony Davis. I mean, stay healthy is half the battle for that guy. So I mean, root for him, man. Like I think he deserves it. He's been a dominant player since he's won that title in Kentucky. He was dominant in Kentucky, and he's been dominant pretty much every year he's been in the league outside of health.
I think the only thing I think they might need another big man to be down there banging with him. You know what I mean? I don't feel like he should be. That's your star player. You still need to keep him healthy, keep him out of post positions to where he's banging with big players. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he's gonna have to play that center position.
Yes,
he's too big not to play it now. So, all right, let's get into this FIBA basketball. FIBA basketball. We got Team USA competing. Are they going to take gold, man? Let's bring up the roster, man.
Bring up the roster.
Get down. Got the dog. Go.
I like their roster, man.
I do. I like the roster.
But I think they win gold. I think it's going to be a tough road with how the foreign players are, developing just as good, if not better. You know what I mean? Because they play a more fundamental game overseas. And I feel like if this team could just play together and not a lot of one-on-one, trying to, I think they could take gold easily. Man, just looking at the lineup, there's a lot of young players.
Yeah,
bro.
Man. They got some hoopers, bro. That they played last night. They played Puerto Rico, and it was kind of close in that first half, and in that second half, I didn't watch the second half, but when I saw the score this morning, I was like, man, they blew them out by that, like 43 points or something like that, and I was like, man, they look this. If they're gonna look like this, just go ahead and pencil them in for the.
I like any team with Mikal Bridges on the floor, man. He's such the perfect blue guy, like.
And then you got
does everything.
You got who's the center from Memphis?
Jaren Jackson.
You got JJ. They'll to anchor the defense. Good luck, man.
Brandon Ingram, man. Banchero,
Capallo. I love Anthony Edwards in the start. That boot, he's going to be a superstar. He's a superstar in the makings. I love like they got Brandon Ingram. They need to go get a bucket. He can go get you a bucket anytime he wants.
Facts.
Austin Reeves, most underrated player in the NBA. He can go get you a bucket if he need or make a play. So they just got a good mesh of two-way players.
Yeah.
Just question if they have enough. The only thing I would question is if they have enough shooting. Halliburton is probably their best shooter.
Bronson, he's a decent shooter. Josh Hart, Ingram, his midi game is nice.
Yeah, I just worry about if they're gonna be able to outshoot a team. Yeah, but as far as like defensively and execution wise, I mean that Canadian team, man.
Yeah, the Canadian.
They got 10. I think they got 10 NBA players on that squad. They legit. As far as Team Australia, they always give America the issues, but they just never can. They can't get past America. I don't see it.
Definitely interesting.
I'm gonna be tuned in, man. I can't wait.
Interesting to watch and see what goes on with some of these teams. The Canadian team,
yeah,
I'm looking forward to watching those games too.
I'll be tuned into that. I think they're gonna be a problem along with Team Australia to a lesser extent, and then you got the Slovenia of Luka, but so they got Luka, Greece team, Spain's always good, but the French national team. So
Greece, Giannis not playing, but his brother.
Of course, Thanasis.
His brother.
Probably the younger one, too.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't forget his name.
So
or Costas. I think it's Costas.
I like to check out a few of their games just to see how they look, But I'm real interested to see what Team USA gonna do. I think they're gonna take the gold.
We'll see.
I think other teams will challenge them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So, without question, it's gonna be tough because these European players, man, they're catching up. And the thing is they all play together.
Facts.
That's the one advantage they have over the American team is they all play together, throughout the year. So it's gonna be a challenge, but I can see them taking gold, but I wouldn't be surprised if they took silver or something. I don't ever want to put it past them for them to lose, but it's kind of hard to. I mean, you could throw out an NBA player on every lineup. It's kind of hard to compete with that. It just is. So anyway, let's get into this NFL stuff, man. Let's get into this NFL stuff. The Hall of Fame came calling for, I think, 9 players.
Yes, sir.
Could you bring up the list, please, Brad? Yes. Rondé Barber. I don't know. Don Croyle. He looks like a coach. Chuck Howell. Ken Riley. Darrell Revis. Joe Klecko. Joe Thomas. Zach Thomas. And DeMarcus Ware. I don't know if this was their first year. I think Joe Thomas is probably his first year of eligibility. Yeah. Rondé Barber. I don't think this is his first year, but Joe Thomas.
Probably Darrell Revis.
This was probably his first year. So, what do you think of the at least the players that you know? I don't know some of the older players.
Rondé TK Barber, man, I remember they was running the league at one point. So that's an easy choice. My
who's your favorite on this?
Darrell Revis. The second greatest cornerback ever.
Second greatest, huh?
The Revis Island, man.
I would tend to agree. Man, he was nobody threw his side.
No, sir.
Nobody threw his side of the field.
Darrell Revis, DeMarcus Ware. They should have had him in a Broncos jersey on this picture because he didn't win shit with the Cowboys.
But he did most of his work. I mean,
he did. I
think he did.
He kept him afloat for most.
He did a fair amount of work on both teams.
Got his championship with.
Did he go in as a Cowboy or a Bronco?
Bronco.
Oh, he went in as
a Bronco? He went in as a Cowboy.
Oh, did he?
His last few years he won.
Yeah, I know.
Super Bowl with
Manning,
so. Put him in, next time you put a picture up.
that's just a Dallas Cowboys. That's fine.
Yeah, but shout out to DeMarcus Ware too, man. Great player.
Yeah, I remember DeMarcus Ware. He was very dominant when he came out of Troy.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't even a division. I think Troy is a Division I school. But it wasn't like a big.
It's not a big school.
It's not a big school. So he pretty much dominated when he played in the league.
Joe Thomas.
I remember Joe Thomas. Joe Thomas, very solid offensive lineman. I think he didn't miss I think there was one time he had like 14,000 something consecutive snaps at one point or something like that, and he missed one. It was like the longest streak in NFL history. Okay. Dude was just an Iron Man on the field. So unfortunately, he played for the lowly Browns, and that's what happens when you stay loyal. He made all the money in the world, but you didn't really win much. And you got to a playoff appearance with Baker Mayfield.
But you're a Hall of Famer now. So.
Absolutely. It was all worth it at the end of it. You provided for your family. You're considered one of the greatest left tackles to ever play the game, if not the greatest. This up for debate. There's a lot of good left tackles, but solid career for Joe Thomas. I don't remember as much about Zach Thomas. I know he played with Junior Seau. He threw his mention to Junior Seau, but pretty solid linebacker. They had some good defenses on that Miami team. I don't remember Miami as much, but I remember Zach Thomas. That's what I remember. Rondé Barber, very good safety, ball hawk, playmaker. I think he got the Super Bowl with Tony Dungy. He was back there with John Lynch. Dominant defense. If you don't remember that defense, I think that was the 2001 team that won the Super Bowl. 2001 Tampa Bay team.
With Warren Sapp.
Yeah, Warren Sapp and John Lynch and Derek Brooks.
That was tough. That was tough.
There was some good defense back then, man. If you go, between the Patriots defenses, the Ravens defense at one point in time, the Tampa Bay defense at one point in time, defenses ruled the field.
That Jets defense with the Real Reavers and
Jets
defense. Cromartie.
Yep, with Cromartie. I think they had I don't think he was there. The linebacker, I forget. But yeah, they had that the Jets defense was good because of the Real Reavers.
Facts.
He took away half of the field.
Facts.
Like nobody would throw his way. So although Randy Moss did torture.
Randy Moss.
But that's Randy Moss. You talk about one of the top 2 or 3 best receivers of all time.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that. I watched that game where Randy Moss. I was like, man, he did that to Revis? Man. One-handed on him. But I think Murray Revis has hurt that game. So I know he came up lame with the hamstring. So we'll forget about that. Anyway. That leaves us with the 2024 class that's coming up. If we could pull that up, there's some good names on this list. Starting right there. Antonio Gates, slam dunk him. Slam dunk him. Easy. One of the best tight ends you ever played a game.
Facts.
He just happened to play on the Chargers organization. They're like cursed to not succeed. But you got Julius Peppers,
one of my favorite players.
One of my favorite players too. A hooper too. He played for Chapel Hill, North Carolina. He was good.
Two sports.
Two-sport athlete. Eric Berry.
Young.
I don't know if he's going to get in first.
He's young.
I don't know if he's going to get in first because his career was cut short. But he was dominant. Haloti Ngata, just go ahead and book him in. I think he's one of the before Aaron Donald, there was in Haloti Ngata to a lesser extent. He was just a run stopper, man. You ran the opposite way in where he stood. So
definitely
he was a very good defensive tackle. And then my sentimental favorite. Andrew Luck.
Yes, sir.
Now, he won't get in first ballot. He won't get in but on the first ballot. But I think it's worth mentioning that he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Facts.
For what he had.
Toughest QB out.
One of the toughest quarterbacks I've ever seen. Like, the beatings he took. And, they were an abysmal franchise, the Colts were, before he got there. And he led them to the playoffs pretty much every year he was there, they went to the playoffs. When they had no reason going. They had one of the worst rosters, one of the worst offensive lines. They had an epic comeback against the Kansas City Chiefs, led by him. Like, he single-handedly carried that team to a win against the Chiefs with Alex Smith, and I think they had Dwayne Bowe.
He might not. I don't think he's getting that this year.
He won't get there on the first. No. I just think the longevity of his career is what will be a deterrent. But I think what will ultimately get him in is the trajectory he was on. I think that's what people will see. That was a Hall of Fame player.
Best.
No matter how long he played in the league, he was a Hall of Fame.
Definitely.
He was on a Hall of Fame trajectory. He was the best quarterback prospect to come out since John Elway before Trevor Lawrence. He was the best one.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm hoping he gets in just because I have a special place in my heart. I just wish he was still playing for the
White Freeney.
The White Freeney definitely.
Book him. He in there.
125 tackles. Yeah. Devin Hester, I think he should be in the Hall of Fame he holds the record for most punt returns.
Facts.
There's some good players, man. Like, a lot of these players are kind of like, the football I kind of grew up with. Jared Allen, Reggie Wayne, another Colt. Torrey Holt, greatest show on turf.
Facts.
Patrick Willis definitely should be
Definitely
in the Hall of Fame. I think he was unstoppable at linebacker. Willie Anderson. I'm not too familiar on him.
Andre Johnson. That's a
yeah, see, they got some.
He was tough.
Darren Woodson's not in the Hall of Fame?
Not yet, I guess. But
we calling it we're calling this the read and react segment. We're gonna create a new segment right here. This is a read and react because this is the first time I've actually seen this. I can't believe Darren Woodson's not in the Hall of Fame yet. Wow, that's crazy. I thought he was already in. Andre Johnson.
When did he retire?
A while ago.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
But
Darren Woodson?
Yeah, he definitely.
He was on the Super Bowl Dallas teams, I believe. Is that's the one?
Nah.
That's not the Darren Woodson?
Nah. You thinking of
who's Darren Woodson?
Darren Woodson played for the Raiders?
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Brad, maybe you can look that up for us.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I thought that was a Darren Woodson from Dallas. Okay. No. Yeah, I mean,
but
I hope Reggie Wayne gets in. Torrey Holt should be in. You gotta look at the numbers. Like, it just depends on the numbers. It's funny that we're talking about the Hall of Fame because my guy Colin Cowherd, man, he said he brought up an interesting point. He always brings up interesting points. He says the Hall of Fame is kind of diluted with players who probably shouldn't be in, and now some of these players aren't going to get in. Like, I don't necessarily know if Andre Johnson's going to get in or if Torrey Holt isn't in already. Like, is he going to get in? You know what I mean? He's been out of the league for
a while,
at least 10 plus years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that is Darren Woodson. Darren
Woodson. See, I thought former professional football player, spent his entire career as a safety for the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
So he had to at least gotten one or two of those rings.
Facts.
So, yeah, I'm surprised he's not in. That's crazy.
So, maybe he gets in next year. So
there's some good names, man.
Yeah,
there's some good.
That's
Between the first ballots and the first eligible bachelors, as I'll call them, and then the guys who didn't get in this year. Next year's class is going to be probably one of the best ones ever.
The hardest to get into.
Yeah.
So
there's some legit worthy NFL Hall of Famers on
facts.
These next couple rounds for sure. But we're getting into the Hall of Famers that we remember, honestly, the guys we grew up watching. So it's going to be really interesting to see who gets in and who doesn't get in next year.
Reggie Wayne.
Reggie Wayne's a Hall of Famer.
I
think he's a Hall of Famer
he's
too.
In there, man.
He probably won't be a first ballot, but I think he eventually gets in there. I think. See, Andre Johnson is just I don't know. I remember Andre Johnson
with Houston
and in the Miami Hurricane days. I look past I think he played for Tennessee at one point in time or something like that. We look past the later years.
But he was big tough receiver. Made tough catches. So
played for he was the only option for that team. Facts. Arian Foster was on that team, and It was him. He had Matt Schaub throwing to him. So
you kind of gotta take what you got.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think eventually getting there. I don't think he's
getting
in next year. Nah.
Yeah.
But I think he'll eventually get in.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. Enough of that talk. Let's get to this next topic of discussion.
It's college.
College football is upon us. And I can't wait, man. It is finally here. The anxiety is building for me personally because of how last year ended for my one Buckeyes, but it's finally getting to the point to where I can start really getting excited because things start to kick off, and It's going to be a lot of football to be watched.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot that's happened here in the last couple of weeks with a lot of college teams moving.
Conferences. Crazy.
Changing conferences. And we had a lot. That happened this past week. We had 8 teams total leave the Pac-12. We already knew about USC and UCLA going to the Big Ten. They went ahead and got the permission to pursue Oregon and Washington. They said, see you, Pac-12. We're going to go over here to the Big Ten.
Facts.
Arizona State, and Utah. They said, you know what? I think we're going to join the party. Let's go on over here and follow Colorado to the Big 12.
Yes, sir.
We already knew about Texas and Oklahoma. They're going to the SEC to try to compete. I don't know how that's going to fare out, but we'll see. What do you think about all the movement?
I think it's kind of crazy, but it's starting to make sense. What's going on? Like, it's going to be 4 main conferences. It's going to, you're going to have these four big conferences, and it's becoming a professional sport.
Absolutely.
It's becoming
absolutely.
And they're fighting for, TV spots.
They're
fighting for
money,
NIL,
exposure.
So this is the first year with 12 team playoffs.
No, I think it's next year.
Is next year?
Next year.
So it's turning into a professional sport.
I love it.
It's interesting.
I love it.
I
love it. The more movement, the better, man. Listen, these kids are already professionals, man.
Facts.
Just because they don't get paid the big dollars doesn't mean they ain't professionals. These colleges treat these football teams like they're professional teams.
Facts.
The facilities, the notoriety, the TV exposure they get, these are already professional athletes.
Facts.
And it's time to just go ahead and recognize that those old ways in which college football was developed are no more.
Facts.
This is it. This is the final frontier. You still have your traditions. You'll still have your Oregons versus the Civil Wars of Oregon and Oregon State. I don't think Oklahoma and Oklahoma State is going to be playing. I think the coach for Oklahoma State was saying that that's probably done, but we'll see. Anything can happen, but I personally love it, man.
I think it's good. I know I heard some people complaining about the travel or the plan
for
the plan of
teachers.
The West East Coast teams and the movement of the conferences, but it's crazy, man. Now the Pac-12 is down to 4 teams.
They're done. And then speaking of the Pac-12, they got Stanford and Cal talking about moving to the ACC. So they're pretty much dissolved. They're gone, which is crazy when you think about a conference just flat out disappearing off of the face of the map in a matter of moments.
Yeah.
In a matter of moments. So I love it, man. I think it sets up some interesting matchups coming up in these. No, you're going to see some
by next year
dream matchups.
Yeah, by next year it'll be 4 conferences because what's a Pac-12 Pac-4 championship game worth with 4 teams in it?
There won't be one. Oregon State and Washington State, they'll probably move over to the Mountain West.
Facts.
It's kind of a regional thing. That's probably what they'll end up doing. But as far as I just love the moves. Honestly,
definitely.
I can't wait to see the first Ohio State SC game in sunny Los Angeles, or Ohio State and versus UCLA in Palo Alto, or they're up in Seattle or down in Austin, which we were supposed to be there, but COVID happened. So I mean, you're going to see some, Oklahoma facing off against Alabama and Texas against LSU, and Big 12. I'm not as interested in. I'm more interested in those 2 major super conferences. Well, I think ultimately what I see is
like right now, we're not, but
they're going to get more
in a year or two. It's going to be interesting in the Big 12.
SEC is going to, I guarantee you, because the Florida States, they're talking about.
I think that's where Florida State should be.
Florida State's coming to the SEC, and I think Clemson's going to come to the SEC.
Let's do it, man.
That's my prediction, because Florida State, they're already itching to get out, and Clemson, they're going to be right behind. I think they're going to be one step right behind Florida State, because those are the money generators.
Because now you have 18 teams in the Big 12, or
they'll be going to, looks like 16.
Yeah, 16.
Yeah,
16 teams.
Big 10 going to 18. 16. You add Florida State, Clemson, they go to 18.
Definitely.
Man, for all those who are against this, let me let you in on a little thing that happened in the past. This thing has been brewing for quite some time. If you remember, the Big East used to be owned by, I think it's Miami. Miami wasn't always in the ACC. Yeah. I think Pittsburgh wasn't always in the. Are they in the ACC? I think they are in the ACC.
Yeah.
But there's a couple teams that the Big East wasn't. No, Big East was the big conference back in the day. In the earlier college football days. Mm-hmm. When Miami left, that ushered in these college teams moving conferences. And when the Big Ten network kicked off, that ushered in more money for these schools. The SEC network saw that and is like, let's go ahead and jump on board with that. Exposure, more notoriety, more eyes tuned into these college teams, people's favorite colleges. A lot of people went to a lot of these people that are making these decisions and stuff like that went to these colleges and stuff. They want to see this happen. So I think
and now we're in the age where you don't have to settle for the game you're watching. You can stream your favorite team.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like the money is now, it's different. It's more personalized, because now because when I moved to Texas and couldn't watch the Saints game when I first moved out here, like why, so I was like, man, I got to figure out how I can stream the game.
Yeah.
Now it's easy, and
because they have these networks.
It's trickling down to college, and now it's like, okay, you can watch whatever game you want when you want to watch.
Pretty much. So pretty much, it's just going to be unlimited exposure for your favorite college team, and that's what it's about. You want to see your favorite team in prime time, when it matters most, against tough competition, and that's one thing I do hope for. Is that I do hope all these moves for these college teams means no more playing East Carolina University or Middle Tennessee State or Ohio or something like that. I want to see 9 to 10 conference games. You get 1 to 2 warm-ups. That's it. Buckle up. Yeah. We're going to 10 conference games. If you want to get into the playoff, you got to win. You got to play these amount of games. That's what I want. I want equal competition on all throughout the entire all the conferences. A level playing field. No more Georgia playing. I don't even want to talk about their schedule, because their schedule is an absolute joke.
It's a joke.
Absolute joke. They don't play anybody this year. So I don't want to see any more of these teams playing these lower college level teams, so these lower college level teams can get a paycheck. I want to see big matchups against big matchups every single Saturday. And that's the one thing I'm excited for, is you're going to get big games every single week, no matter what, from now on.
Definitely.
Notre Dame, buckle up. You've been hiding. You've been running and hiding from the big.
You think they're going to join?
They're going to have to. They're going to see the money. These teams are going to be getting like 60, 70 million a year just by being in. Like these conferences are generating. These TV deals are like $7, $8, $10 billion, bro. You telling me Notre Dame don't want a piece of that pie?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But
absolutely.
But staying independent,
it does them no good. Right. It does them no good at this point in time. Why?
For now. But
why? You just gonna call your own shots now? Are you really that into yourselves that you're just gonna call your own shots and not join up and get these paychecks?
Yeah, you might as well, because it's that's the way it's going. It's just like it's inevitable, but
it's inevitable. Just go ahead. join in the Big Ten. It's you can stay regional and all that stuff. You don't get that booty handed to you though. You already, I know the reason why you guys don't want to join in the Big Ten. The Big Ten owns that booty. That's what it is.
Facts.
So,
but it's I think it's good because it's all watching the playoffs and the bowl games. It's always been secondary to say the NCAA basketball tournament. You know what I mean? Like that's been exciting for me since I was a child.
100%.
So when it's college football playoff season, bowl season, it's not as interesting. So I'm ready for this 12-team playoff. I'm ready for this, like you say, the big matchups of the conferences. So
now it all makes sense why they're now it all actually kind of makes sense why they're trying to go to the 12-team playoff.
Yeah.
Before it didn't make sense because I didn't want to see TCU get smashed by Georgia.
Facts.
I don't want to see that's not an intriguing matchup. But you have all these big college teams going into these conferences and stuff. It's going to breed way more competition and stuff.
Facts.
Now I'll really be interested in seeing, a 12, 14, however many team playoff.
Yeah.
The only downfall to it, I guess, is you do kind of have to think about the student athlete in some kind of sense. Yeah. You know what I mean? You got to take into account that they are students at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And not all the players are going to be going into the NFL and stuff like that. No, these students are trying to get a degree and stuff, but
definitely.
There's so many avenues for them to do classes and stuff. They do online classes. They get their stuff homework ahead of time and stuff.
Yeah,
they'll make it work, man. You know what? The human element allows us to be adaptable.
Fact.
We can adapt.
And you got AI, so
yeah, that is true too. AI helps out a lot.
A little bit.
Grammarly helps out a lot. So
yeah,
writing a paper is nothing nowadays. So
yes, sir.
Let's get into this. Top 25 now.
Top 25.
Please, let's get into
Coaches poll.
This thing came out, I think, today.
I'm gonna let you do your thing. I already know you're going. Number 2.
The problem I have is with that number 2 team right there.
Facts.
See that team right there? That's all these experts and analysts and coaches riding the high of Michigan's stench from last year. They've been waiting forever for this moment to come.
Yes, sir.
But I say this. Not today.
This
is not going to happen. Okay? Because what I see is this. This is what I see. They're building them up just to watch them fall flat on their face. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They always do it. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
They did it last year against TCU. They couldn't beat lowly TCU in the playoff last year. They had every opportunity to show who they were. And they showed exactly who they were. Chokers. They're not ready, man. They can have the best team. I understand they got all these players returning.
Yeah.
Good for you guys. Good for you.
They're not number 2.
They're not a number 2 team.
Where would you put them?
I would put them in the top 5 somewhere.
Top 5.
They're not better than Ohio State.
Not better than Ohio State.
No, they're not. I understand. They've kind of wiped the floor with us these last 2 years. You got to show me. Till you win 10 in a row, I don't believe it, man. I'm sorry, man. Beating us twice in the last couple years, that doesn't mean anything to me. No, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You notice how they didn't get a vote for number 1.
Nah.
2, right? You saw who did get 1? Ohio State. You saw who got the other? Alabama, Georgia. Michigan didn't get a number 1.
Nah, they didn't.
Vote. Why do you think that is? I smell something in the water. Hey, you know what's funny about Michigan? This is why I hate Michigan so much.
Why is that?
Not just because I'm an Ohio State fan and I'm loyal to my team. It's because they remind me of the Dallas Cowboys. They're just like the Cowboys, man. They're riding the high of winning a championship, 20 years ago. It's the same thing. It's the exact same thing. Every year, just for them to get every year they're optimistic just for them to get let down.
Facts.
Come when it matters most. They're the Dallas Cowboys of the Midwest. That's Michigan football for you. So till you guys actually win an actual one playoff game and be a national title, I don't want to hear anything from you guys. You guys can beat us every year for the next. No, you can't beat us every year for the next 5 years. But till you guys actually win something, don't talk to me about what we're. I don't care where you guys are ranked. I don't care.
Facts.
I want to see it.
Speaking of this list, though,
go ahead.
I don't think Georgia the team they was last year.
No, they're.
I understand why they're number one. They're defending champions, but yeah, I'd probably put.
They got to be number one or the 2-time defending champion.
They gotta be, but
we don't know about Alabama yet.
They're not the team they were the last.
Do you think they should still be number one?
For now.
Okay. They're going to probably be number one all year with the schedule that they have. Yeah. So, whatever, man. It's enough of Georgia. Let's get to Georgia. Notwithstanding, we got Michigan, Alabama, my Ohio State, your LSU Tigers. Let's get to your LSU Tigers. I wanted to save. No, I wanted to reserve next week's show for really diving into our two teams. But your thoughts on number 5?
I think Ryan Kelly has their team moving in the right direction. So I think we'll be up there in the top 3 all year, man. Just I think we're gonna be tough.
That first game, man. That first game against number 8 Florida State. I like Florida State.
Man, I'm good. I think.
Are they at Florida? Yeah, they're at Florida State too. Tough environment. First game of the year. Man, if you've never seen a Florida State game, Florida State is what I consider my second favorite team.
Yeah,
there's just something about the helmet, the Seminole chief coming out throwing the flaming spear with the honor horse. Everything about Florida State is just appealing to me. I love Florida State. If I wasn't an Ohio State fan, I would be a Florida State fan first. They just everything about that team. Bobby Bowden. They had some of the best players that come out of Florida State. I love.
It's been a while since they've been on top of the mountain. Though.
Yeah, so I think this might be their comeback. If they can win that LSU game, this will be
hard starting off with an L.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, we're already going. He's already going in.
But I think but LSU, I see us being in the top 3 all year, and USC
is the team. Man. I think so. Yeah. They're. I don't know who they're bringing back, but they bring that quarterback back. That's enough.
That's enough.
They bring that coach back.
Caleb
Williams.
I think he's gonna be.
He'll be the number one. He'll be the number one
definitely.
Quarterback pick.
Definitely. If there's another team, I'll say they'll be around that top 5 all year.
Easy.
Yeah, they're gonna be tough, man.
Yeah. Penn State, get them out of here. We ain't thinking about Penn State. I don't know why they have Penn State in the top 10.
Yeah.
To me, it makes no sense. I don't even know who they have coming back.
But they play tough every year. I can't shit on them.
They do every year. They do the same thing they do. They choke it up. They haven't been good since Saquon Barkley. So.
Oh, okay. Florida State 8.
Florida State, they're Clemson. We'll see about Clemson. I think they'll have a bounce back year. Last year was a down year for them. Every team's gonna have a down year eventually,
definitely.
Unless you're Alabama. But no.
But this might be Alabama's a down year.
We'll find out. I think a lot of people are kind of Alabama's just flying under the radar. I don't know I don't know about their quarterback situation.
Yet,
but they're just flying under the radar. Notre Dame there at 13. Texas is an interesting one. A lot of people are saying this is their year.
I think
we'll find out.
I think
they got a team.
I think they need a year or two them adjusting to SEC. So
hey, listen, they better get it this year.
Yeah,
because adjusting to the SEC is not going to be easy. Yeah. I think was Texas A&M always in the SEC, or did they come from the Big 12? I thought. Yeah, I thought they came from the Big 12 at one point. Yeah, they did. They did, and they've had an issue with competing in the SEC. So we'll find out.
We'll find out for sure.
We'll find out about Texas this year.
Notre Dame, there you go, 13.
Yeah, we play them. I think week 3, 3 or 4, and we go there. So listen, we got Marvin Harrison. Our deep. Let me just save some. Let me save some for later. Let's save some for next week. I don't want to get too ahead of
Oklahoma. I think will be a little higher on that list. They're at 19.
We'll see about that.
I think they'll be a little higher throughout the season. Ole Miss, they're definitely going to be in that top 10. They're tough, bro. With what's the coach?
Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin.
Yeah,
he had them playing well last year.
Yeah, he did.
I'm gonna say top 10, top 15. I think they're definitely higher than 22.
Can you go back up to number 1 through number 12? So if we go down to number 12, so if they did a 12-team playoff, so they got Washington up there. Wow, Washington.
Yeah,
interesting. So if the 12-team playoff were to happen today, these would be the 12.
Yes, Texas,
Washington,
Texas was
wow, Tennessee,
Clemson, Florida.
Man, just think of that, man.
That's a great playoff,
man. That's what I'm saying, man. I can't wait.
Playoff, man.
I wasn't on board with the idea of 12, man.
So it would be,
you have these teams. If you have the caliber of these teams in the playoffs, man.
So you got Texas playing Georgia out the gate, like
man.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
These be some good games, man.
Facts.
Some good games. I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Yes, sir.
Let's save some. We'll dive more into our college football teams next week. I'm sure there'll be another poll that will have came out by then, but we'll discuss our teams more in depth and thoroughly.
Yes, sir.
Next week. We're going to save it because I got a lot to speak about when it comes to Ohio State. Other news. There was another soccer tournament that happened this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
United States women's team played over the weekend and unfortunately lost.
Got eliminated
due to penalty kicks. And I just wanted to let everybody know this team wasn't going to win this World Cup. I understand we Americans.
It was supposed to repeat, right?
Huh?
Did they win last year?
They won the last 2.
Okay.
No team's ever won the third. This team wasn't going to win the third in a row. Like if you thought that, you were kind of fooling yourself. Even before the tournament started, I was already of the mindset they're not going to win this one. Yeah, they just got too many. They got a lot of young players. They're turning over some older players. Some of the older players said they're done after this past tournament. I just got a new coach. I just didn't feel I just didn't feel like this team was going to win it this
championship
year.
team.
Yeah, I feel you. Personally, I just didn't see it. So, I mean, America's still the best when it comes to soccer. Women's, you guys are balling out there. But this wasn't going to be the year no matter what.
You'll be back.
Yeah, you'll be back. But, I mean, soccer is hard. The rest of the world, the rest of the world's catching up to America in a lot of these sports and stuff like that. So, just got to keep that in mind, keep things in perspective. It's going to be okay. They'll be fine. Another 4 years, they'll be older. They'll be churning in the next group of young players and stuff. There'll be another phenomenal superstar and be right back at it. So don't trip. Calm down. What else did we have? I think that was Brad, did we have
I was about to say it. I ain't gonna say it.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say Jake Paul.
I don't want to do that. You don't want to. Okay.
Just,
cool, Jake Paul. You got a good win.
You got to win.
Yeah, over
good for you.
Older UFC fighter. Like,
yeah.
Fight a legit boxer. That's all I'm saying. If you're really about that action, bro,
fight one. Yeah, definitely.
Fight one. That's it. That's all I'm gonna say. I have no hate against you. I just I want to see you against a legit boxer. Let's see that. See,
Definitely.
proof is in the pudding, bro.
Facts.
Brad, did we have anything else? What else was on that list of things? That
The only other thing, if you want to touch on Sandhagen defeating Font over the weekend, is Sandhagen now the #1 contender at bantamweight in the UFC.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be the number one to challenge for a title. I don't. I think people need to calm down when it comes to wanting a spectacular finish. Yes, it was a boring fight. Yes, I did turn off the fight after the after the third round. I did, yes, because I kind of already see what the game plan was.
Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that game plan. Wrestling and dominating your opponent for 5 rounds is a part of the sport. So why trip about that? It doesn't have to be a knockout. It doesn't have to be a submission. Sometimes just dominating your opponent for 5 rounds is just as good a win as a knockout win. So I don't know why people are sitting here trashing his performance and Dana White walking out, not doing a post-fight interview. Sometimes these boring fights happen, but a win is a win over a worthy opponent, and Rob Font. The dude tore his triceps on top of that. So he's going to be out for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he trained. If you really think about it, he was supposed to be fighting Umar Nurmagomedov, who was a wrestler, a grappler. So it was already in his game plan to wrestle. So why get mad at him doing exactly what he's been training for however many months to do? So I don't know if he gets the title shot. He's going to be out a while with the torn triceps. Merab Dvalishvili and Henry Cejudo will talk about fighting.
If not Sandhagen, who would be the #1 contender to take on the winner of Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Aljamain Sterling coming up?
I think Sterling's already hinted that he's done after this next one, and I think he is done. There's nothing left to prove at this division, at this weight class. I think he's end up going to go up. I think it'd be lightweight, right? I think this is 145. So he's going to go up to lightweight. They'll open up the championship. It'll free up the championship. And then I think what'll end up happening is they'll probably run back O'Malley against Merab, or they'll do Sandhagen against. I would love to see Sandhagen against Merab which would be, I think, a vacant title once Sterling, because Sterling's going to beat. Trust me when I say this. Sterling's going to beat O'Malley. I'm dead serious. He's going to choke that dude. He's going to choke that kid out.
Yeah. When is that fight?
Next week.
Next week,
right? The 19th,
August
right, Brad?
19th.
Yeah, then August 19th. So that'd be next week.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it'd be next week, and I think he's gonna choke him out. Sorry, I just don't. I didn't see enough from Sean O'Malley's ground game to think that he's gonna do anything with Sterling on the ground. So that's gonna open it up, and we'll have a fighter open belt. It'll probably be Merab versus Cejudo, or it'll be Sandhagen versus. They'll probably throw O'Malley again. So that's what I see happening. That's probably what's going to happen, but who knows? Another fight that got announced today, which was always in the works. Israel Adesanya has his opponent, Sean Strickland.
Okay.
In Sydney. He's going over to the motherland not the motherland for him, but that's where Adesanya trains over there. So he's going to be in the home crowd. Tough, tall task for him. I don't know how he pulls that off, but anything's possible. Good luck, Sean Strickland. I like Sean Strickland. He's cool. He steps up. He fights anybody, anytime, anywhere. Doesn't say no to fights. So he's getting his one shot, and I feel like he deserves it more or less. You know what I mean? He's had some tough calls go against him and stuff, or tough decisions go against him. So who else is on that? Yeah, there's going to be a bunch of
Yes,
Kiwis on this card. Carlos Ober, Kai Kara France. Yeah, it's gonna be nothing but Australian fighters on this card. So
Okay.
yeah. Good luck, Sean Strickland, man. You got your shot. Go make that bank, bro.
September 9th.
Yeah, go make that bank, man. Good luck. You got your title shot. We'll see what happens. I believe that is it.
That's it.
That is it. Thank you guys. Thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
watching our show. Like and subscribe. Please like.
Subscribe.
It helps generate more.
Comment. Give us your input.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Hit those like buttons. Subscribe. Just support us, man. We're working hard over here.
Yes,
so
sir.
thanks, Brad. And this is 2 Beats 1 Job.
Yes, sir. Till next week.
Till you see you next week. Yeah.